What's up, guys? This is Justin from the Board Game Losers, and I'm here with a playthrough of Nemos War. This is one that's been out for a while. They just released the Ultimate Edition, which is kind of like the big package of all their expansions to date. And it's been a while, like I said, and I've wanted to play it, so I decided, hey, let's put it out there and let's see what happens. So I'm going to be playing that today. I am going to be playing with some of the newer content from the Journey expansion, and we're going to see what happens. So I guess I've already got everything set up, you can see here, so let me just tell you kind of what I've done to this point. So the first thing is I'm playing with the adventure motive. It's going to change how we do lull turns. So normally in a lull turn, you have the way that the action points are spent is different. But and also, before I get to that point, there's now kind of two different rule books. There's a game rules and then a Between the Voyages book. One is kind of like the setup, and the other one's the game rules. So the Between the Voyages is what we'll look at. It's kind of like Fantasy Flight, how they separate all their stuff out. So that's what the Between the Voyages is. So the Between the Voyages says, right, okay, here we are. So it's actually in the games rules. But in the back, it's got a whole lot of different information, but it tells you all the different, in the appendix, the motives. So now with some additional motives, it changes the board state and kind of how things work. In our case, for adventure, when we place one adventure token, so this is a new type of token that we have to reveal and then potentially activate or get. It'll be in a different ocean. We'll find it in one place, and then it may be there because each adventure token is set for like a different ocean. So we reveal it, and once we reveal it, it goes to the ocean it's supposed to be at, and then we can try to obtain it. So it's a bunch of extra victory points. When we do lull turns, we get 2 action points instead of the standard 1. But we don't get any discounts on anything. So like, for example, the rest, repair, and refit that normally would cost 1 action on a lull turn still costs us 2. Right? But we're getting 2 actions instead of 1 action for doing a lull turn. We still get discounts for things, but it still costs us that. And wherever we roll the doubles, we place a face down adventure token, so one of these tokens there, and so that's how we're going to populate the board with those potentially. And that's the only difference, right, with adventure. So it's not a huge difference. Obviously, we score a lot more for some of the things. Not as much. I think when I saw one of them was like ×8, which is insane. But so there's that. And I'll show you this in the back of the book. It's got, because the book is sprinkled with a lot of the different optional rules, but in the back, this whole page is just optional rules, which I think will be great to play with all of them, but I don't know that I can remember them all. So what I decided to do is I'm just going to use one of them, I think. Well, 2 of them, or 3 of them, I guess. 2 of them are just have to do with the crew that we have. So in the original game, you had crew over here on the side. We could use those for sacrifice them to get some bonuses depending on what was happening. And in the expansion, the Journey's expansion, they added some cards for Nadine Dakar. And so now that is somebody that you can basically find. It's Nemo's son. And there's a point where you find him, you'll be added as a crew. And now all the crew, also, not all the crew, some of the crew have personalities that are going to add to their abilities, basically, on their boards. And you can use those whenever you could, just like a treasure, the special things for treasure, like discard it for a DRM +1 or a reroll or whatever. In our case, they actually give Some of them give bonuses to people, so their point value at the end of the game. So we're using that. And we're using the Nadine Hakar, which is his, I believe I'm saying that right, his son. So there's going to be a point when, in the adventure deck that we created at the beginning of the game where he's going to come in, and there's a point where there's 2 cards. I didn't read them because I didn't want to spoil it for myself. But where he comes in and he becomes a crew member, so we have that ability. They also means that if he dies for some reason, so like we can't sacrifice him basically, or we lose the game, or if something happens and it's like sacrifice a random crew and we rolled him, we would lose. So that's a thing. The other thing, he scores just like regular crew, potentially for points, but he also helps everybody else score. So he gets everybody else to score higher. So potentially more VPs again if he's allowed at the end of the game, which we'll talk about that later once we get there. We're playing with the Deadly Seas, so there's special tokens that are like ships that will come out that'll do some special things. And I'm playing on the regular difficulty, not easy, not hard. So there's 2 of those in there. The other thing I'm going to play with is called Britannia Rules the Waves. So basically, thematically, it's because Britain ships were just all over the place at the time. So the way it works, because the British Royal dominated the world stage, all British ship values get +1. So that includes attack if it's a warship, defense. Oh, that's attack. And then if it's a warship, it's defense, notoriety, victory points, all that gets +1. But whenever we place it either on the tonnage track, the tonnage track, or on the salvage track, it actually counts for 2 spaces. So for example, if I sunk one here, then it's going to actually cover both of these spots. So it's basically going to make it easier to get points over here, but they're going to be a little bit harder to fight, and it's going to be easier to get points over here. So there's some other stuff about how to do some more warships where they potentially attack every turn, which is just insanity. That is a definite disadvantage, but for now, that's what I'm going to do. I'm not going to go too crazy with it yet. I would like to do that at some point, though, because I think the game's worth it. Yeah, cool. So that's where we're at, and I will probably have to pause this, which you won't see, to come up with, look up some rules, but generally speaking, it's pretty straightforward. Basically, on our turn, we're going to roll some dice, and those dice are going to place hidden ship markers in seas. If we can't, we can place it adjacent. Otherwise, we have to reveal. And then we're going to do event. We're going to do an event. We're going to roll the dice, and then we're either going to have a standard turn where we're spending action points to move around and complete different actions, or a loyal turn, which is kind of the same thing for us. But we're trying to score. In the end, we're trying to score point. Well, we're trying to make it to the deck. That's number one. Don't know that I've ever actually made it all the way through. Gotten very close a couple times. But we're trying to score points based on our motive over here. So warships are going to be face value. Non-warships are going to give us -1 point, so they're not going to be worth as much. Adventure cards are going to give us 2 additional points for whatever they are. Treasure's going to stay the same. Liberation, which I believe is the basically what you would do when you're doing the insight cubes, uprising cubes. There's going to be ×3. Science discoveries are going to be ×3, and wonders seen are going to be ×3. So it's going to be, those are going to be what we're going for. So primarily we're going to be going for searching in oceans to find adventure cards, get extra treasure, so we can get those science, those wonders and things like that. And that's the plan. So I think that's everything. Oh, the other thing is an optional rule that I did. So when you start the game, you now actually potentially start with a specific specific card. I don't have that works manual, folks. We start with a specific card. So this particular, depending on your motive, and every motive has like one. This one is called Diving Apparatus. We get +1 DRM to all test dice rolls resulting from actions that you spent 2 actions to perform. And then also, after playing a keep card at its specified ocean, place 1 gemstone in the adventure deck if it has none. So basically, if we spend 2 actions, we get a little bit extra help. And then if we have a keep card in an ocean, we get to put a gem on the adventure deck, which means that we're going to get extra treasure tokens, which again is going to help us with our adventure as far as points wise, hopefully. So I did purchase that upgrade. It was 3, so I just took each one of the 3 resources down by 1. So that's what the deal is. That's where we're at. Other than that, I think that's it. Hopefully I'll remember everything. And let's get started. So we're going to start. You always start, and this is not really going to be a how to play, so I'm going to go through kind of slow maybe the first turn, but then I'm just going to motor on. We always start by drawing an event phase, and the turn order, what you do on a turn is printed here, and even the combat is printed here, so that's super helpful if you're not sure. So we start with this card. This is the Act 1 card. All the card usually has art and content to the left, flavor text, and then on the right hand side is like the tests and stuff you have to do. Just to save time, I'm not going to read the flavor text necessarily, but I'm just going to tell you what the card says. So it says, prologue, roll a die and place the Nautilus in the corresponding major ocean. So let's do that first. And we're going to 5, which is right here. Commence play with the next card. Roll only 2 white dice to begin each placement phase. So I'm just going to put this up here as a reminder for myself, which act we're on. So we're going to draw another card because this is normally what we do. We're doing an event first. So this event is called Vigo Bay. It's a keep card. So it says when the Nautilus is in the North Atlantic, which is right here, or the European seas, which is where he's actually in. You may fail and begin drawing treasure one at a time. Stop drawing as soon as you draw a wonder or retain. Keep all treasure drawn at the game's end. Pass if unused. So this is going to be worth 6. What is this going to be? It's going to be worth 8 points at the end of the game if we keep it. Or we could draw a bunch of treasures. Set this down here. I feel like we're going to draw treasures. That's what I'm thinking. Okay, cool. So that is the events. Now we do placement. So we start with 1 action point. We roll our dice. Oh, wow. So we're going to add hidden ship token to C4 and 5. So C4. Gosh, 5 is already full. And 5. That's a difference of 1, so that means we only have 2. Wow, we only have 2 action points. I think we're going to spend the 2 to do a adventure. And the reason I'm doing that is because there's already a cube over here. And I know that this other card puts a cube back there. Yeah, let's do that. Alright, so we're going to look over here. Let's set this to the side. We're going to draw this adventure card. Okay, this is a keep. Journey to the center of the earth. You may fail this card at any time during the action phase and draw the top card of the adventure deck for free, which you must then perform. You may do this repeatedly until you are instructed to keep that card or before drawing you wish to stop. Oh, at game's end. Pass if unused. So this is a wonder because of the symbol there. This is potentially worth 4 points. Interesting. I think that's going to be worth. I think we're just going to go ahead and fail this. To draw the top card of the action deck for free, which you must perform. You may do this repeatedly until you're instructed to keep that card or wish to stop. So we're just going to go ahead and fail this, I think. So we get to draw the top of the adventure deck. This is not a keep card. So this is a test. It says test 9, underwater forest, and we can use Nemo and crew. So whatever symbol is showing here, actually, let's see, let me go to. So whatever symbol is showing here, you can use any of those, right? You can use any of those, what do they call them? Resources to help pass this. So this is it's a test of 9. We can use Nemo and crew. So I'm going to look at my Nemo and crew, and I can risk both of those. So that's a +2 and a +3. That's a +5. So I only need a 4 or higher. Now this card on its own is not worth any points, right? Because that's a 0. But if we pass, it's going to let us collect 2 treasures, which hopefully will be worth a good bit. So let's roll. Okay, wow, that's more than enough. More than enough. So let's go back to our main board here, and we passed it. So what we wagered just slides on back there. So we didn't lose any of that. This card is a pass, so we're going to put it over here in our pass pile, and we get to draw 2 treasures. So there's 2 bags. There's the ship bag, and then there's the treasure bag. So we're going to reach in here. We're going to draw 2 treasures out. Get them shuffle up real good. I'm going to draw 2 treasures out. Let's take this one, which is it is a wonder, the city of Pavlo Petri. So we're going to put that right there. That's worth 1, but it's actually worth 3 because of our motive. So that's good. And then our second one. Oh, well, the Abyss. So we got two wonders, which is great. That's great for our motive. But remember, it says we get to keep going if we want to keep going. So we're going to keep going. And this is going to let us, because we basically passed that first card, we're going to get a free treasure. Let me double check that. Okay, I am right. So, because this is something else I guess I should note, because I'd forgotten this. Whatever this is on here, as long as we choose that and we attempt that card, whether we pass or fail, we're going to get that additional treasure. I'm just going to set this over here. So we actually are going to draw 1 more. So even if we'd have failed that for some reason, we just still got this treasure. And we get retain, discard for up to 2 salvage, or keep for 5 treasure, which is just going to be worth 5 points. So we're going to hold on to that for now, because I believe we don't have to discard that immediately, but let me double check. Okay, yeah, I was right. So retain is, you don't have to make that decision right then. Cool. I mean, we can go to it says keep or stop. I say we continue on. All right. Agrisomnia. Lose 1 Nemo or 1 character to pass, otherwise immediately lose 1 action if you currently have any, and fail. Ooh. It's gonna be worth the movie symbol and that. Yeah, it's gonna be worth 3, 4, 5. It's gonna be worth 7 points. So I guess, man, I don't want to lose a character already. It says lose an action. I don't have any actions. We'll lose a Nemo. I don't want to lose a character yet. We'll lose a Nemo, just so we pass it. It's worth a lot of points. Cool. Go to the next one. 2 decks of cards. Play. 2 decks of cards. It's a play card. Pass and gain a crew. Okay. That's just not even a roll. It just happens. Shuffle the adventure deck. Draw a random card from it, and without resolving that card in any way, pass that card. Okay. So, boop. So we're going to gain a crew. This is a pass card. It says shuffle it, but I'm not really sure why that is, because it's already random. Oh, because if I had buried something underneath, then I'd shuffle it and I'd potentially come to the top. So we're not gonna worry about that. Without resolving that card, draw a random card from it, and without resolving that card in any way, pass that card. Okay, well, so the good thing is this is a fail and gain a bunch of notoriety from a mass execution. We don't have to do that because if we put it in the pass, and if it fails, we got that. So, all right, good. Okay, so now we have to stop. This is a keep card. Chief Engineer, we can keep it. We can fail and get a notoriety for a free refit action with a brilliance result. So refit action with a brilliance result, it says gain 1 upgrade for 1 fewer salvage. Or at game's end pass if the Chief Engineer is not sacrificed. So that's pretty cool. So we're going to keep that. We don't have any salvage anyway, so yeah. It might be worth failing for the salvage, but since we don't have enough salvage to do anything, we don't have any salvage, that's no point in keeping that. So, wow, that was actually pretty cool. So that is, what was that? That was like 4 cards all in one go. We're going to hold on to that card. Okay, cool. So that is the placement phase done. There's nothing else. We don't have any action, so we can't do anything else. And that is our standard turn. So now we go back to the top. So we're going to draw our next event. This is a keep card. Some days ashore. When Nautilus is in any Pacific Ocean, which is going to be down here, South, Central, Eastern, Western. And it says Pacific Ocean, so I'm assuming the Pacific Coast doesn't count. When it is in a new Pacific Ocean, you may fail to gain 2 crew or +2 notoriety, or place 1 uprising cube to that ocean at game's end, pass if unused. And this is going to be 5 points, so we're going to go ahead and keep that as well for now. Placement. Let's see what happens here. 6 and a 4. So that's a standard turn. So we're going to get 2 actions. 2. A 6 and a 4. Because that's the difference, right? That's the difference of the 2 die. Is 2. And then we're going to place 6. 4. I think you're supposed to go in numerical order. There you go. I think because this is so full and that's so full, I mean we're gonna have to do some fighting. Don't want that to be the primary thing, but I would prefer to keep the seas kind of calm. I think we're going to go ahead and do a bold attack where we're at. It's going to cost 1 action point. Boom. So we're going to draw. Yep. Oh, that's not the ship. That's the treasure. So we're going to draw a ship out of our ship bag. So bold attack means that I can continue on attacking one after the other until I fail. What did it say? Until I fail or salvage. So when I fight and I win, they've got to go on the salvage tonnage track. Is that right? Until fail or salvage. Yeah. So it's going to get us some potentially refits over there, which is okay. Let me go ahead and do that. The other option is a stalk attack. Whoops. But you only get to attack once, so you're basically only getting rid of 1 ship with 1 action. You get +1 DRM, so you get +1 to your roll, but you don't get rid of the 1 ship. So because this is so full, I'm thinking let's get rid of several. So I'm going to pull out the first one. Oh, great. It's a warship. Okie dokie. Well, that's lovely. So, the way the warships work, and we can go through our combat sequence over here. Warships attack. Roll a 2d6. That's a 7. If the result is less than the attack value, which is in the top left corner for them, so in this one it's a 6, then the Nautilus will take hits. It is not, so they don't hit us. So then we have to attack. We roll 2d6 versus their defense. We're not making a stock attack. We can exert ship resource, but it's only 1. So we can't like add everything, but we're gonna go ahead and add the crew because that's the best one we've got right now. If that's a +3, we need a 9. Oh my gosh. 5 and 1. Ooh, there's no other warships, so whew, thank goodness. Okay, so that counts. Wow. Now, this isn't British, so it didn't have the DRM, and it doesn't count for 2, so we're going to put it over here in our... oh no, not salvage, it's tonnage. So we're in the European seas, so it goes right here. Cool. Go to the next one. Let's see what we get. And oh gosh, is it another warship? Are you freaking kidding me? Is it really another warship? Oh my god. Wait. Is that supposed to be in there? It is. Holy smokes. I gotta show you this. I've never seen this one. This is a problem. It's the sea monster. It's got a 10, and we need an 11 to freaking sink it. I mean, if we can, it's worth a bunch of points. It's worth 8 points, but holy cannoli. Wow. I don't know if... Alright, well. It attacks us. So, not surprisingly, we didn't roll an 11. Wait, yeah, we didn't roll 11. However, we suffer hits equal to the lowest die. So, fortunately, because we rolled low, we only suffer 1 hit. Okay, so we roll for the location. It's a 4. So if we go back to the main board. Up here at the top, you can see if it's random damage, there's a chart here. So 1 is Nemo, a 2 or 3 is your crew, 4 through 6 is your hull. So we're going to move that down because that was a 4. That was a fail, fortunately. So yeah, that just sits set to the side. And since we were bold attacking, we failed, so we have to stop. Unfortunate. Alright, so it means we got 1 more. I think we're going to move over here. Just because I want to get over here to this adventure token and see where it's at. And yeah, that's going to be our turn. Ooh, that was bad. All right, so that's all our action points. So we go to the beginning of our next turn. Treasure Fleet play. Ooh, fail and place the sunken treasure fleet token in a treasure available token in a random major ocean. After you successfully search there, gain that ocean's treasure and the sunken treasure fleet, which grants you up to 2 additional silver uprising cubes and a +2 DRM for future insight actions. Wow. Okay, I've never gotten this one either. So I'm gonna have to find that token somewhere. So it says fail it and place a sunken treasure fleet in a treasure token in a random major ocean. So we're gonna fail this and then let me get that token, and we will place that in the major ocean. All right, so I've got the token here, so we're gonna place it in a random major ocean. Roll, it's gonna be 5, which is right here, which is where we just were. And a treasure label token on top of it, so there. After you successfully search there, gain the ocean's treasure and the sunken treasure fleet, which grants you up to 2 additional silver uprising cubes. It gives us, we start out with 10. I've got 12 over here, so I guess I need to put those 2 back. And a +2 during for future inside actions. Oh, so every future inside action gets a +2. Ooh, now I'm wishing we hadn't left that place. Because if we do a search there, we could get potentially, well, we're going to get this either way. So we could potentially get 2 treasures plus that and the cubes, and yeah. Ooh. Hasty. Alright, so that was our action. And we didn't spend 2 actions, so we didn't get extra DRM. Adventures where we're getting that mostly. Rest, repair, and refit. Yeah. Alright. Roll for placement. And 3 and a 5, so that's going to be 2 more actions. And we're going to place... Well, I'm glad we got rid of one of those ships, right? 1 there, and 3, which is right actually where we're at. And it's a standard turn, so we're gonna move over 1. We're gonna move back to where we came from, and then we're gonna spend 1 to do a search. So over here on the left-hand side, this shows you what all the successes are and what all the things that you can do are. So with a search, we can exert any 1 ship resource. We don't have the arcane librarian. There's no reveal token, so we can pick a resource. We're gonna pick crew. We're going to roll our 2d6. Come on, my numbers. Oh my gosh. You saw that. That was an 11, 12, 13. That's a 14. So we look on here, and our result is greater than or equal to 12. So we, Eureka, collect 2 treasures. So, number 1, we collect a treasure for that, right? Because it says... after you successfully search there, gain that ocean's treasure and the sunken treasure fleet, which grants you 2 additional silver uprising cubes. So we're going to get that 1 treasure from that. We're going to get this token plus 2 DRM to insight actions. And I'm going to put this somewhere where I don't forget it. So we're actually going to get back those 2 cubes. Now we have a total of potentially 12 cubes to place. We're going to get 1 treasure for this that was on top of the sunken fleet, and this, even though there's 1 gem here, this just represents that there's treasure here. So we're gonna get we're actually gonna draw 2, so we're gonna draw a total of 3 treasures out of the treasure bag, which is pretty sweet. So let me reach in here. There's 3 right there. So we can we can discard this and get rid of 3 notoriety, which we don't have any notoriety. So, and that's not a retain, so that happens immediately. So that's a boo. And then we got a 3 and a 1, just a regular 3 and 1 regular trip. So nothing special. I'm gonna put those discarded ones up there with the ships. Okay. So that was a move and a search. So again, we have no more actions left. Oh, what the heck? Let's just go ahead and get rid of this Vigo Bay. We're in the European seas. I'm gonna fail. I'm gonna draw treasures 1 at a time. Anytime we draw a wonder or retain token, we're gonna stop. So let's hope that we can draw several. First one is, of course, it's a retain. I can keep it for 3, or I can get a free adventure action. Well, that didn't work out at all. I knew that was too good to be true. Dang it. What sucks is there's not a good way to gain Nemo. You can get hull and crew pretty easy, but not Nemo. Alright. That takes care of the turn, so let's go again. So we're going to start with this card, Ocean Wealth. Play. Pass and add 1 notoriety. And then it says Then place +1 treasure in each of the 6 major oceans. Okay. We pass it. So let's place some treasure. Alright, so what did it say? It said each? In each. Whoa, okay. So here's the cool thing about that. I need these. So the way it works is if you can't place it, because you'll notice that every one of these places have the gemstone treasure option, but we didn't start out with putting them there. So what happens is if you would place one in an ocean and you can't, you place one in an adjacent ocean. So we're just going to go 1 through 6. One has one, so we're going to place one in an adjacent ocean. So we're going to put it right here. We're going to go to 2. Again, 2 has one, so we're going to put one right there. 3 has one, so we're going to put one right there. 4 has one, so we're going to put one right there. 5 has not got one, so it's going to go there. I'm going to put these not clear ones out so it's easier for you to see. I'm really not sure whether it's clear. I mean, you can see it in person, but it's probably a little harder to see for you. And then 6, there is one. So again, boom. And every ocean. Oh, well, sorry, almost every ocean. Yeah, almost every ocean. Okay. Almost every ocean has one. That's cool. Not any points. We got a little notoriety, but it is what it is. All right, placement. A 1 and a 3. So that's going to give us 2 actions. It's a standard turn. So we're going to place 1 and a 3, huh? 1 and 3. Okay. We've got 2 actions. I think we're gonna attack again in here. And I think but we're gonna do a stalk attack. So when we do a stalk attack, what that means is we get a +1 to our attack, but we only get to attack 1 ship. So while we're there, we might as well do that. So we're gonna draw 1 out, and we get a passenger ship. These would technically move up. Passenger ship. So it's not a warship, so we have an 8 that we've got to get. So let's exert our crew, and let's roll our attack here. Looking for 5 or better, and that's a 7, so that's definitely a hit. It does not have any notoriety on it, which is awesome. And we're definitely going to take it as tonnage. So, right there on the tonnage track, which you can't see. Why can't I see? Alright, so we're going to put it over here on the tonnage track. So we have 1. We could get the electric horn if we took the refit action, but we're not going to do that quite yet. But I think we are going to go ahead and spend our next action while we're here to do the same thing again. I might be burning some actions, but I feel like now's the time to do it while the bag has the fewest number of warships in it. You know, unless I pull the warship. That's awesome. Alright, it's a 6. So we rolled an 8, so it did not hit us. Now we need to roll a 10. And we can use 1. 1. So we're going to use our crew again. So we need a 7 or better. Wow, that is a fail. So we lose our crew level. We did fail, so we have to go 1 up on the notoriety. And Oh, you know what? I failed to do that for the monster that we fought earlier too. We lost our crew, and then we have to lose. What's that name? Hold on a second. It says 1 or 2. All right. So even though, sorry, my battery died, so I had to change it. Switching cameras. I'm testing out 2 new cameras, so we failed. So we lost our crew bonus. And we gain 1 notoriety for failing, which I don't think I've done, so that's going to go up by 1. There's one right there, but we didn't sink it, so we don't gain that notoriety. And even, by the way, with our stalk bonus and everything we didn't have enough. So then we take damage, random damage equal to the lowest die value. So it's a 1, so we're going to take one random resource. Again, it's the whole. Yikes. And that takes care of that. Wow. Wow. Okay. Yikes. So the warship is there, and that's going to affect searching and doing other things there too, unfortunately. All right. Next turn. Let's just keep on going. It's a test. Shortage of air. A test of 10. Wagering the crew. If we fail, we lose a crew or decide. Basically, we skip our turn. So we do have to test. So regardless of, we're doing +3. Let's do it. Let's hope we get a 10. Roll 6, 7, 8. That's a pass. So that's awesome. And then just pass. Boom. I wish that was the placement phase roll. That'd be 4 actions. Or we can go with 5 actions. That's perfectly cool too. Okay. Well, we do have to place 1. Now, wow. Ocean 1 is full, and Ocean 6. I wish we had. I don't think we have. We don't have anything to make us move quicker, unfortunately. We did get that crew back. Let's spend 1 to move here. I think we're gonna have to go bold attack again. I know we're doing that a lot, but I know I can also insight to help drop that notoriety. So, and I'd like to get some things on this track. I usually don't, and I know I probably should to get some points. So that's what I'm thinking. All right, so here we go. Let's see what ship is there. It is a not British, but of course it's a warship. All right, it's got an 8, 6. It rolled a 7. That means it hit us. Yep. Hits equal to the lowest die. We could destroy an upgrade, which I'm not going to do, or hit a random resource. So it's going to hit our crew. And we get to attack. Crew's still our best bet. Need a 9. There's an 8, 9, 10, 11. So that's successful. So we did sink it. It's going to go in the North Atlantic. That's right here. However, it's got 2 notoriety, so that moves up. Next ship. I keep going for the treasure. And oh my lord, are we gonna pull all the freaking warships out? Jeez. I promise there's regular ships in here. Alright. Roll for it. 4, 4, 5, 6. There's no other warships. So, yeah, that's a hit. And because the lowest one is a 2, means we're going to be hit twice. So we're going to be hit in the Nemo and the hull again. This is not looking good for me. And we're going to get a notoriety for failing. Okay. Yikes. Let's wish that we hadn't made that poor life choice. Let's move. And then move again. Yeah, so search lets us reveal it, and then once it's flipped and goes to whatever ocean it is, then we do an adventure action there and we're good to go. So yeah, we're going to search. Boom. And for search, we can do any resource. Oh wait, did we lose the crew when we failed? I think we did. Yikes. I'm going to use Nemo for a +3. And we don't have the Arcane Library. There's no revealed ship tokens. So that's 8, 9, 10, 11. Oh, so close. Collect 1 treasure. But it was successful, so we flipped this over. And this says it's in the Arctic Ocean, so it actually is right here. Okay. So we did succeed, so we're going to get 1 treasure. So we go here. Man, so close. And we pull a treasure. We get a retain. This is a discard for 1 action or keep for 2 points. Okay. Ooh. We can, this article lets us to discard it. Now, it's going to be worth 6. It's going to be worth 9 points at the end of the game. But we could discard it and just get a free upgrade, which is very tempting. But we treat it like a retain token, so even if we go over there, we won't have to worry about getting it like anytime soon. Oh man, I think we are going to go over here because I want to be able to potentially successful. I want to be able to potentially adventure. So, yeah. Next turn. This is our event. Commence scare. Play. Perform this many reactions. 4. This many reactions. If Nemo's motive is stern, or 2, 4 and pass if his motive is stern, or 2 and fail if it's honorable. Yep, adventure is honorable. So if it's honorable, we have to fail it, and we have to do 2. We either have to gain a notoriety or flip any non-warship token if available to show its warship side. Well, we don't have any non-warship tokens, so we have to gain 2 more notoriety. That sucks. Alright, let's roll for... It's going to be 1 action with a 1 and a 2. We're going to place... In 1, we can place adjacent. So we'll do that. Put that one there. 2 we can put there. That sucks. And we only get 1 action, which means we can't adventure. We could search, I suppose. We could save our actions. I think I'm going to save my actions. I'm going to save the actions. So that's actually the end of that turn.